here in Monterrey's Parque Fundidora. We're here by the style fabric, and this is what the video is gonna be all about. At first it may seem like just a large urban park where people come to relax, sport, run, visit concerts and spend time with friends and family. However, this space has a much deeper history than all the people here probably know. Parque Fundidora was once the most important style fabric in whole Latin America. It's symbol for Monterrey.
Let's go back in time for a moment. Before this area became a park, it was home to Compañía Fundidora de Fierro y Acero de Monterrey, Mexico's first steel foundry built in the 1900s.
It wasn't just a workplace, it shaped entire neighborhoods, provided thousands of jobs, and drove Monterrey's early industrial development, therefore contributing to making Monterrey the place it is today. Its closure in 1986 led to the loss of industrial machinery, equipment, original factory interiors, and everyday working culture, and part of Monterrey's industrial identity.
When the factory was closed in the 1980s, the biggest question is, what do we do with this massive industrial complex?
And that's where it becomes interesting. Instead of demolishing the foundry and therefore risking this part of Monterrey's past to become lost forever, Monterrey decided to reimagine this place. The goal was to preserve the industrial identity and remind the people here of its existence and its past importance for Monterrey, while at the same time transforming it into something which can actually be used in the public and for the people.
In the effort of preserving that cultural heritage, many original structures were kept and restored, including the iconic Ono 3 blast furnace, Ono Alto #1, which was the first blast furnace, the old warehouses, railway tracks and chimneys, and even several large pieces of machinery that were once involved in the steel production. Additionally, a museum was built inside Ono 3, showcasing how steel was produced and telling the story of the people who worked in the steel foundry. These elements were integrated into a large public park where families can walk, do bull rides, and people can visit the Ono 3 museum.
So in my opinion, the intention behind Parque Fundidora was really good. It was trying to revive the at that point unused factory by creating a place which people would actually use and therefore making sure they continue to interact with this piece of Monterrey's industrial history.
Before we continue, UNESCO defines cultural heritage as the practices, expressions, knowledge, and objects that communities recognize as part of their identity. So it's not just buildings, it's also the memories and meanings attached to them.
Today, Parque Fundidora is known for the events held here. Large-scale events of music like Tecate Pal Norte steal the spotlight from the park's purpose, as people are more aware from these events than the industrial context. The meaning of this place is slowly changing. Despite all this, the park strives to preserve the memory of workers through the museum. People still know that a factory used to be here, but they associate the park to a different way. And because of this shift interaction, the industrial part moves further into the background. This is where UNESCO definition becomes important.
The buildings are still here, so the physical part of the heritage is preserved. But the intangible part, the memories and meanings people associate with this space, is slowly fading. The park becomes known mainly as an entertainment space, not a historical one. This is how cultural heritage can be lost without any demolition.
Bueno, estamos aquí con
Paulino Bernal.
Paulino, mucho gusto. ¿Usted conocía el contexto del parque?
Sí,
¿Sí?
lo que era antes, sí.
Sí, lo que era antes.
Claro.
Okay. ¿Cuáles son los motivos por los cuales usted viene?
Porque el motivo que anteriormente fue la quiebra económica de Fundidora, que era fundición de acero.
Sí.
Le llamaban el elefante, sí, de Monterrey.
Sí, claro.
Y el contexto fue que se fue a la quiebra por malos manejos administrativos.
Pero usted cada que viene, no sé, usted viene a ver la fábrica, bueno, lo que era la fábrica, o viene más que nada a los eventos.
Más que nada, caminar un rato y estar en familia.
Claro, y usted al venir aquí, ¿cómo usted cree que honra la memoria de los obreros que estaban aquí trabajando, de la compañía, o no mucho?
Fíjate que me gusta mucho ver cómo soy algo de mecánico, y me gusta ver lo que es la parte mecánica que dejaron los
Ok, sí, es interesante.
Sí, muy interesante, la verdad.
Sí, y usted es de aquí, ¿verdad?
De aquí en Monterrey.
Usted cuando viene alguien, no sé, algún familiar que no es aquí o algún amigo, de que le trata de explicar el contexto que hubo detrás antes.
Fíjate que mucha gente ya no les interesa el pasado.
Ya no
La
están
verdad,
interesados.
la verdad, ya no les interesa el pasado, les interesa ya lo que es ahorita.
Sí, de que, por ejemplo,
De
aquí
los
mucha gente
eventos,
acá,
sí,
los eventos.
lo de cervecería,
Sí,
lo
claro.
de la bebida, porque es mucho la bebida. Más que nada son los eventos que ahora en adelante les interesan, no lo pasado.
No lo pasado, ok, bueno. Muchas gracias por la entrevista.
Igualmente, hasta luego.
Hasta luego,
Que
buen
estés
día,
bien.
lindo día. Bueno, estamos aquí con Ariela. ¿Conoces el contexto del parque que hay atrás de Fundidora? No, casi no conoces el contexto. Ok, ¿usted cuáles son los motivos por los cuales viene aquí? Es esta. Los eventos, ¿tú sueles venir a ellos, no sé, alguna convención o algo? No, no mucho, pero es un parque, es más que nada por la temática del parque. Sí. Ok. ¿Usted considera que al venir aquí honra de cierta manera a los obreros que estuvieron trabajando?
Sí.
¿Sí? Bueno, pues sería mucho. Muchas gracias. Sí. Bueno, estamos aquí con
Aurelio.
Aurelio. Ok, ¿tú conoces el contexto del Parque Fundidora?
Pues no como tal, pero más o menos.
Ok, ¿sabes? O sea, tú normalmente, ¿cuáles son los motivos por los que vienes al parque?
Es a pasear, a distraer, más que nada.
Sí, más que nada como a pasear y ver lo que hay, así, más que nada los eventos, ¿tú dirías? Más o menos, ok. ¿Consideras tú que venir al parque honra la memoria de los trabajadores que estuvieron aquí hace tiempo?
Pues yo creo que sí, porque la mayoría de la gente, o sea, viene muchos turistas, yo creo que vienen a conocer pues, todo lo que había antes.
Sí, claro. Sí, y tú, por ejemplo, tú tratas de explicarle a la gente que no es de aquí, no sé si tengas amigos de otro lado, que no es de acá, mira, es parque cerrado, hay un contexto detrás del parque, es un parque. ¿No te puede hacer eso?
No, pues fíjate que yo ni soy de aquí, soy de Veracruz, pero pues igual, o sea, de que pues, tengo amigos de que les han platicado de que, oye, pues hay un parque y de que, no sé, antes era visita turística y así, pero bueno.
Sí, bueno, ya sería todo, muchas gracias.
Ok, hombre,
Gracias.
hasta luego.
Bueno, estamos aquí con Brenda, mucho gusto. Ok, ¿usted conoce el contexto detrás del parque? ¿No? Ok, ¿usted cuáles son los motivos por los cuales viene al parque?
Pues ahorita vamos a
Estar en familia. ¿Usted cree que viniendo aquí al parque honra la memoria de los trabajadores que trabajaron? Sí, de cierta
que hay cada una de las
Bueno, pues ya sería todo. Muchas gracias. Hasta luego.
In Germany, in the city where I'm from, we can see a very similar example in the Rheinauhafen in Cologne. This area used to be a working harbor with cranes, warehouses, and industrial port infrastructure. But when the harbor activities declined, the city decided to redevelop the area. Just like in Parque Fundidora, they kept many original elements. The old storage buildings, parts of the harbor structure, and especially the historic harbor cranes. They even built 3 modern apartment buildings called Kranhäuser, literal translation of crane house, which resembles a crane, and are known for having some of the most expensive apartments in Cologne. At the same time, the space was redesigned into a modern urban quarter with apartments, cafes, galleries, and a lot of offices. Today, the Rheinauhafen is a very popular place to walk, eat, or enjoy the view of the river. But most visitors don't really think about its industrial past anymore. So even though the physical structure and name remain, what people associate with the area and the experience they're having with it has changed a lot and continues to change. I personally know about the history of the harbor, as the company my father works for is located in one of the old harbor buildings called Das Krafthaus, which used to be an energy center. But I know that a lot of my friends are not aware of the history, even though they spend a lot of time in that area. And lastly, I want to point out that I'm talking about those changes without any judgment of whether they are good or bad. And maybe one has to admit that one part of development is also that some aspects of the past get lost in the process.
Parque Fundidora in Monterrey can be compared to Wynyard Quarter in Auckland. Both sites underwent major transformations from heavy industrial zones into public, cultural, and recreational places. Like Fundidora, Winyao Quarter experienced significant loss of tangible heritage when fuel tanks, warehouses, and poor infrastructures were demolished, with only selective elements, such as the industrial gantry structures, preserved. Both cases reveal how industrial heritage is partially retained, yet largely replaced during urban redevelopment, reshaping community identity while erasing much of the original physical landscape.
Comparison to the Netherlands. In the Netherlands, a similar case can be found in Strijp S Eindhoven. This area was once an industrial heart of Philips, where the factories and workers shaped the city's identity for decades. After production declined, Strijp S was redeveloped into a modern urban district with apartments, creativity spaces, cafes and cultural venues. Just like Parque Fundidora, parts of the original industrial structures were perceived, but the original function and atmosphere have largely disappeared. Today, Strijp S is seen as a trendy and innovating area, yet many visitors are unaware of the industrial past. Although this building remained, the meaning of the space has shifted from a place of labor to one of lifestyle and leisure.
Parque Fundidora, like examples in Germany, New Zealand, and the Netherlands, shows that cultural heritage is not only about preserving structures, but about remembering the stories that shape these places into what they are today. The industrial elements still define how these areas look now, but they are losing importance as people no longer associate them with their industrial past. This reminds us that heritage lives in both the physical landscape and the meanings people carry, and both can fade if we don't actively keep them alive.
Thank you for watching. Bye!